Chapter 11 of The Chocolate Lab. The Big Event. The best thing about owning a chocolate shop is all the chocolate. That might sound obvious, but a girl in my class, Lindsay Ling, told me something interesting. Her family owns Slippy Slide Water Park outside of town, and she once said that she is bored with water slides. Bored with them? All the free water sliding she could ever want, and she never puts on her bathing suit anymore? That would never happen to me with chocolate. There is something magical about the way it slowly melts on your tongue, the way just a little bit of it fills your whole mouth and makes every one of your taste buds jump for joy. Even the smell of it sends a warm feeling flowing through your body. No, chocolate and I are going to be buddies forever, no matter what. So standing in the middle of a big room filled with chocolate is just about the most incredible thing I can think of. Of course, standing in the middle of a big room filled with chocolate while dressed as a colonial fool sort of spoils it. Part of me wants to play with the fountain gushing chocolate like a waterfall, down, down, down into a giant bowl where people can dunk marshmallows, bananas, and cake on the end of sticks. The rest of me wants to hide behind our display where Hannah is handing out free samples. Our banner reads, Town Chocolate Shop, Yankee Doodle Candy. Taste how sweet history can be. Grandpa said we couldn't bring the skillet or the winnowing basket for our demonstration today. The first would be a fire hazard, and the second would make a dusty mess. He did let us bring the chocolate stone and the roller, though. Grandpa is working them like a pro, and it's bringing people to our table like baby goats during feeding time at the petting zoo. Do you have any more samples? I call over to Hannah. I'm cutting the chocolate as fast as I can, she says. But no matter how quickly I lay out the tiny napkins and how quickly Hannah cuts up the blocks, our chocolate disappears. Looks like you two are doing all right, Grandpa says. He scoops the syrupy brown goo onto a piece of wax paper and loads the stone with more crushed cocoa beans. His sleeves are rolled up and his forearms bulge like he's been doing this his whole life. The judges haven't come around yet, I say, handing a sample to a young couple pushing a baby stroller. We'll see how we do then. Click. I hear the sound of a camera phone. My shoulders tighten, and I turn around. Alan Kunkel. He finishes keying something into his phone. Nice outfit, Mason, Alan says. I'm sure our social studies class will love to see your tight pants and stockings. They're called breeches, I say. They're no different than baseball pants. They're way different, Alan says. Something chirps in Hannah's pocket. Her head jerks up and she scowls. Ignore him, she says. He's just jealous we're doing so well. Jealous, Alan says. Why would I be jealous? Because our chocolate is better than anything that your giant blinking monster machine can spit out, Hannah says. I'm not sure that matters much, Alan says. My mom. But he never gets to finish his sentence because the judges arrive. There are three of them, two ladies and a man. The larger of the women, the one with the jiggly jello neck and makeup that looks like it was put on by blindfolded monkeys, is Mrs. Clunkle. She is the most opposite thing from a dog-licked person I've ever seen. Mrs. Clunkle looks back and forth between her son and me. Who is your little friend, Alan? Mason's not my friend, he says. He's just some kid from school. Let's not be rude, Mrs. Clunkle says. She puts on her glasses and reads our sign. Just because their store is having troubles. But I said, let's not be rude, Alan. Now go back to the booth. We've already judged our family's chocolates. We've won top prize for our chocolate-covered caramel sea salt s'mores. Hey, that's my recipe, Hannah says. Yeah, we invented that, I say. Nonsense. It was Alan's idea, Mrs. Clunkle says. She turns to her son. Your father is organizing our ribbons and trophies. Why don't you go give him a hand? Alan disappears into the crowd. They already got ribbons and trophies? Hannah asks. You haven't even tried our chocolates yet. Mrs. Kunkel looks down her nose at Hannah as though she is some sort of swamp rat. What are you implying, young lady? Nothing, I guess, Hannah says. She places 3 samples on a small platter and hands it to Mrs. Kunkel. We've made chocolate using authentic techniques handed down through our family. She goes on to tell the judges about the antique equipment we found and the recipe used by great however many times Grandma Beatrice. The judges let her finish, and Mrs. Kunkel speaks first. I'm afraid I can't permit these samples into the competition, she says. She gestures to the grinding stone and roller Grandpa is using. That equipment looks unsanitary. I'm concerned for the well-being of the judges as well as our visitors. A gasp spreads through the crowd, and Grandpa steps forward. Now just wait 1 second here, he says, waggling his chocolate roller. These kids have worked their tail feathers off for this competition. I'm not going to let you waltz in here and take it all away without even giving them a chance. Mrs. Krunkle purses her lips into a polite smile that is not really a smile. I'm afraid you have no say in the matter. But I do, the man judge says. There are 3 of us, Shirley. Just because Kunkel Candy sponsors the expo doesn't mean you get to run the show. Kunkel Candy sponsors the expo? Hannah mutters. How is that fair? There are 3 judges, Walter, Mrs. Kunkel says. As long as 2 of us agree to disqualify them, then there is nothing you can do about it. She glares down at the 3rd judge. I'm sure you're in agreement with me, aren't you, Danielle? The lady named Danielle squirms a little. She's much younger than Mrs. Kunkel and much smaller. She looks at the chocolate samples, then at Mrs. Kunkel. Actually, I'd like to give it a try, she finally says. That's when the doors to the auditorium burst open and Coco charges in.